Prime Minister Narendra Modi has now become the Indian Prime Minister to address the US Congress twice in his hour-long address to the American lawmakers, which would be in terms of members of parliament, for example here, at a joint session of the US Congress. Modi said, terrorism is an enemy of humanity. There can be no ifs and buts about dealing with it. He urged the world to overcome all such forces sponsoring and exporting terror, and that in a veiled attack, though not mentioning Pakistan, but it was very all clear to the ones present there. Prime Minister reiterated that the Indo-Pacific region was a shared concern, urged for a shared vision to free the region from domination, and that was a veiled reference to China. He also urged peaceful resolution of disputes for respect of sovereignty and territorial integrity, again referring indirectly to China's border aggressions. But Prime Minister Modi also hailed Indian economic growth, saying it was earlier a 10th largest economy, now currently stands at 5th largest and soon will become the 3rd largest. Amid all of this, as you can see on your screens, there was constantly a grand reception, standing ovations. These lawmakers, American lawmakers, were standing in a queue to take autographs of Prime Minister, even some asking for a selfie with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And not just that, there were Modi Modi chanting heard in the US Congress.
More than 2 decades after 9/11 and more than a decade after 26/11 in Mumbai, radicalism and terrorism still remain a pressing danger for the whole world. These ideologies keep taking new identity and forms, but their intentions are the same. Terrorism is an enemy of humanity, and there can be no ifs and buts in dealing with it. We must overcome all such forces sponsoring and exporting terror. This is not an era of war. But it is one of dialogue and diplomacy. And we all must do what we can to stop the bloodshed and human suffering. The dark clouds of coercion and confrontation are casting their shadow in the Indo-Pacific. The stability of the region has become one of the central concerns of our partnership. We share a vision of a free, open, and inclusive Indo-Pacific. Connected by secure seas, defined by international law, free from domination, and anchored in ASEAN centrality. A region where all nations, small and large, are free and fearless in their choices, where progress is not suffocated by an impossible burdens of debt. Where connectivity is not leveraged for strategic purposes, where all nations are lifted by the high tide of shared prosperity. Our vision does not seek to content or exclude, but to build a cooperative region of peace and prosperity.
I think more than anything, you talk about the future and the future alliance between the United States and India, how great that's going to be. And it was a very moving speech. It was great to have all the American Indians in the gallery who were so passionate about this man. You get the sense that he is very almost like godlike in his own country, and it was very moving. The whole experience.
The message from the Prime Minister is very positive and very exciting to see the relationship between the United States and India, the world's largest democracy, the world's oldest democracy. Working together, we benefit.
I think it was a very important address to the United States Congress, particularly in light of the aggressive posture that China's taken. And particularly considering the fact that India is the world's largest democracy, we're the world's oldest, and that the world really needs a collaborative relationship between the two countries.
I think the Prime Minister, his vision for our working relationship, trade and commerce, being able to grow both our countries together is a great opportunity. Someone that was led trade on the Republican side in Congress, I was very excited about hearing that, because I think there's a lot more possibilities between the people, his people and our people here in the country to do a lot more. It was also very fascinating to hear his whole thoughts and ideas in terms of how much growth they've had, where they expect to go. So again, the whole thing on visiting, and obviously he's got enormous respect in his country.
At the U.S. Capitol, Prime Minister Narendra Modi took an opportunity to recite a poem he had composed, the poem signifying the urge to not give up, to continue to face the challenges, and in a metaphor that he used, implying that the day has begun just now.
I am reminded of a poem that I once wrote. आसमान में सिर उठाकर, आसमान में सिर उठाकर, घने बादलों को चीरकर, रोशनी का संकल्प ले, अभी तो सूरज उगा है। अभी तो सूरज उगा है। दृढ़ निश्चय के साथ चलकर, दृढ़ निश्चय के साथ चलकर, हर मुश्किल को पार कर, घोर अंधेरे को मिटाते, घोर अंधेरे को मिटाने, अभी तो सूरज उगा है। If I were to say it in English, it would be rising its head in the skies, piercing through the dense clouds with the promise of light. The sun had just risen